You're staring at a job posting, marketing manager. 6 figures. Everything about it screams your name. Then you see it, bachelor's degree required. Your stomach drops. You close the tab, move on. You've done this before. But here's what you don't know yet. That requirement, it's probably already gone, and the company just hasn't updated the posting. Welcome to Career Cheat Codes. I'm about to show you the biggest shift in hiring since the invention of the resume and exactly how to use it to your advantage. Here's the headline. 70% of employers now use skills-based hiring for entry-level positions. Not considering it, not planning to, using it, right now. Between 2019 and 2025, job postings requiring a 4-year degree dropped by 33% across mid-skill roles. That's not a trend, that's a revolution happening in real time. IBM, Google, Delta Airlines, Bank of America. These aren't scrappy startups experimenting with new ideas. These are Fortune 500 giants, and they've eliminated degree requirements for thousands of positions. So why is this happening? And more importantly, how do you position yourself to win when the rules have completely changed? Let's break it down. For decades, the 4-year degree was a filter, a shortcut. Hiring managers used it to narrow down the pile without actually evaluating whether someone could do the job. Think about it. A degree in marketing from 2015 doesn't tell you anything about whether someone can run a TikTok campaign in 2026. The skills evolved, the proxy didn't. This created a massive problem. Employers kept requiring credentials that didn't predict job performance, and talented workers without degrees, 52% of the American workforce, by the way, got filtered out before they could even interview. But then talent shortages hit hard. Unemployment dropped. Competition for workers intensified. And suddenly companies realized they were leaving enormous talent pools untapped. The Burning Glass Institute put a number on it. Looking at skills instead of job titles can expand your candidate pool 6 times over. For AI roles specifically, more than 8 times. Let me give you the numbers that changed everything. In 2019, 73% of employers used GPA as a screening tool. Today, just 42%. That's a 31-point drop in 7 years. The academic filter that defined hiring for generations, it's collapsing. And here's what's replacing it. According to the NACE Job Outlook survey, 70% of employers now use skills-based hiring for entry-level positions. That's up from 65% just 1 year ago. In 2024, 45% of organizations stopped requiring a bachelor's degree for some jobs. And that's on top of the 55% who had already done it the year before. Do the math. That means 100% of surveyed organizations have either removed or reduced degree requirements. Everyone's moving. But here's where it gets complicated. Not every company doing skills-based hiring is actually doing skills-based hiring. The Burning Glass Institute calls out this gap. There's a difference between a degree reset and a real shift. A degree reset means you remove the requirement from the posting, but you still favor candidates with credentials when it comes time to actually hire. The posting changed, the bias didn't. True skills-based hiring goes deeper. It changes how companies screen, how they interview, how they evaluate. The whole process gets rebuilt around demonstrated capability, not proxies. The good news, the companies leading this shift are names you'd want on your resume anyway. Google started removing degree requirements in 2020, so did Apple and IBM. Delta Airlines rebuilt its hiring process around skills assessments. Bank of America followed. These aren't experiments anymore, they're the new normal at the biggest employers in America. So what does this actually mean for you? It means the game has changed, but most people haven't updated their playbook. They're still leading with credentials when employers are looking for capabilities. Here's your first move. You might want to audit your resume with fresh eyes. Look at how much real estate you're giving to your degree versus your actual demonstrated skills and outcomes. Consider restructuring it. Lead with what you've done, the projects you've shipped, the problems you've solved, the measurable impact you've had. Education goes near the bottom now. When you're applying, one approach that works is to match the exact skill keywords from the job description, not similar words, the exact words. ATS systems are literal, so be literal. And here's something most people don't think about. Micro-credentials now carry real weight. Google offers professional certificates. So do IBM and Coursera. These aren't participation trophies. They're skill validators that employers recognize. You might also want to consider building a skills portfolio. This isn't just for designers anymore. GitHub projects, freelance work samples, case study write-ups, anything that shows you can do the work, not just claim it. Think about what's happening from the employer's perspective. They've got hundreds of applications, everyone claims the same skills. Proof beats claims every time. If you say you're a strong communicator, you might want to link to a presentation you gave. If you say you can manage projects, show them one you completed. Here's another shift you should know about. Companies are increasingly using skills assessments during the hiring process. Case studies, technical tests, work sample exercises. Prepare for them. One strategy that many people find helpful: practice before you need to perform. Find sample case studies in your field. Time yourself. Get feedback. The assessment is the interview now. Treat it that way. And don't underestimate transferable skills. Problem solving, communication, project management. These translate across industries regardless of where you learned them, or whether you have a piece of paper saying you did. The Harvard Business School research on this is clear. Skills-based hiring increases diversity, reduces time to hire, and improves job performance. It's not just fairer, it's better business. So if you've been holding back from applying to roles because of degree requirements, you may want to reconsider. That requirement might be legacy language that no one's enforced in years. Try this. Apply anyway. If your skills match, make the case. The worst they can do is say no, but increasingly they won't. Now, let's talk about something most job seekers miss entirely. Networking works differently in a skills-first economy. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows what you can do. When you're building relationships, you might want to lead with your work. Share projects, discuss problems you've solved. Let your capabilities speak before your credentials even come up. Remember that LinkedIn study I mentioned earlier? People who got referrals were 9 times more likely to be hired and earned 7.3% more in starting salary than those who applied cold. But here's the thing about referrals in a skills-based world. The person referring you needs to vouch for your capability. Not just say, "Oh yeah, I know them." They need to be able to say, "This person can deliver." So here's something to consider. Before you ask for a referral, make sure that person has actually seen your work. Send them something you've built. Give them ammunition to advocate for you. The irony of all this? College students are still being told degrees are everything. NACE found that skills-based hiring is growing, but students don't fully understand it. There's a knowledge gap the size of a canyon. If you're still in school, or you know someone who is, the cheat code is to start building proof of skills now. Don't wait until graduation to compile evidence of what you can do. Internships, side projects, open source contributions, freelance gigs, research that works is to stack these up while you're still in the degree program. Graduate with a portfolio, not just a diploma. And if you never got that degree, the data says you're less disadvantaged than ever. With 45% of companies dropping requirements just last year alone, the gap is closing fast. This doesn't mean degrees are worthless. They're still valuable for certain fields, certain networks, certain knowledge bases. But they're no longer the gatekeeper they used to be. The wall has cracks. You can find a way through. So here's how you position yourself in this new landscape. Lead with evidence, build a portfolio that speaks louder than credentials, and stop letting degree requirements filter you out before you even try. This week, consider auditing your resume, move education to the bottom, lead with projects, outcomes, and quantified impact. Match the skill keywords exactly. That's your starting point. Then build your proof. One portfolio piece, one case study, one GitHub project. Start small, but start now. The companies that matter will notice. And when you see a role that excites you, apply. Even if you don't meet every requirement, especially the degree requirement. Research suggests the hiring landscape has shifted under everyone's feet. Don't be the last one to notice. Now, before we wrap, I want to be real with you about something. Not every company has caught up. Some HR departments are still running on old software, literal and figurative. You'll still hit walls. But the trend is unmistakable. 70% skills-based and climbing. The degree requirement isn't disappearing overnight, but it's fading faster than anyone predicted. Your job isn't to wait for the perfect system, it's to position yourself for the one that's emerging, and that means proving you can do the work, not just showing you sat through 4 years of someone telling you about it. The credential economy is giving way to the capability economy. One strategy that may help: get ahead of it, build the proof, make the case, and stop asking permission from gatekeepers who've already stepped aside. That's your cheat code for this week. The degree requirement is collapsing, skills assessments are replacing credential screens, and the companies you want to work for are already hiring differently. Lead with what you can do, prove it before they ask, and apply to the roles you want even if the posting says bachelor's required. The rules have changed, now you know how to play by them. If this gave you something to work with, hit subscribe. We drop new cheat codes every week. I'm here for the people building careers without permission slips. See you next time. Final number to remember: 42%. That's all that's left of the GPA screening that used to dominate hiring. The old gatekeeping is crumbling. Your skills are your new credential. Career cheat codes. For the people who want the moves that actually work. Until next time, go prove something.